This video is brought to you by Outplayed. Outplayed is a free video app that automatically captures your best moments. When you're done, you can flip through your clips, pick out the best ones, and share them. You can use Outplayed with single-player games like Starfield or competitive multiplayer games like Apex Legends, Valorant, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, the list goes on. I am really into the inbuilt video editor. This lets you cut the bits you want and then you can share highlights to Discord, YouTube, or anywhere else. Use my link in the video description to download the app completely free. Alright guys, here are the absolute best Class C ship weapons in Starfield. Now what I'm going to do is show you the best weapons in each category, so that's ballistics, lasers, missiles, and electromagnetic weapons, then show you what ships you can buy with these weapons already attached. And in terms of missiles, the Atlatl 270C is far and away the best missile launcher with a 4,000 meter range, 163 hull damage, and 163 shield damage. Now to put those numbers into context, let's compare it to an A-class missile launcher. This one has the same 4,000 meter range, but just a 51.70 rating for hull and shield damage. So the Class C Atlatl missile launcher does more than triple damage. For a ship that already has this missile launcher attached, get the Vanquisher. Now you can pick this up on the Stroud Eklund station and it has a huge 163 rating for missiles, and that's due to that Class C missile launcher. So this is the best ship in Starfield in terms of missiles, although it's not the only one because there are actually two other ships in Starfield with exactly the same missile rating of 163. The second one is the Nimitz. You can find this on Cydonia on Mars, so it's exactly the same as the Vanquisher missile-wise, but it has better lasers with a 39 laser rating as opposed to the Vanquisher's 6, and only slightly worse particle cannons. And the third ship with an identical missile rating of 163 is the Voyager. Now this is on Helios in the Ixel system. It has worse laser cannons but better particle cannons. So it's basically a slightly different mixture. But with all three having the same strength missiles and differing only a tiny bit with the lasers and the particle cannons, it really only comes down to what you prefer looking at. You can't go wrong with any of these three ships. Next up, ballistics. The best ballistic weapon in Starfield is the MKE-9 Gauss Cannon by Ballistic Solutions. 1250 range, 68.20 hull damage, and 20.89 shield. Compare it to an A-class cannon, the KE-20, which has an 800 meter range, 18.70 hull damage, and 5.5 shield damage, and you can see just how powerful this Class C ballistics cannon is. There's a subclass of ballistics weapons also, which is auto turrets, and these are basically turrets which don't have to be fired manually. They fire automatically. And the best one in this category is the Class C PB-0300 Alpha auto turrets. Now a little tip with auto turrets is to slap them on the back of your ship, and that way they'll automatically fire at anything behind you without you needing to physically turn your ship and get the enemy in your sights. And the ship you'll want to check out with the highest ballistics rating in Starfield is the Abyss Trekker. This has a huge 196 rating for ballistics, which is the highest rating in the whole game. That's courtesy of the Marauder 115N railgun turret, which does 98.1 hull damage and has an 800 meter range. So weirdly, the ship in Starfield with the highest ballistics rating doesn't actually have the gun in Starfield with the highest ballistics rating. Doesn't really make sense, but anyway, just to get you up to speed on weapon categories if you didn't know, the categories are ballistics, which damage a ship's hull and destroys them completely, lasers, which damage enemy ships' shields, that's useful when you just want to board their ship to loot it without taking it out completely, missiles, which deal an equal amount of damage to hulls and shields, and EM weapons, or electromagnetic weapons, which do the same as lasers but work a little bit faster. And as I say, in terms of pure ballistics, the Abyss Trekker is the best. It's the best dogfighting ship in the game, so if you just want to have the enemy gone without worrying about keeping it around to board it, that's the Abyss Trekker. And if you wanted to grab it for yourself, you can find it on Paradiso on Parima in the Parima system.
You bothering me for a reason?
Next up, lasers, and the PB300 Alpha Beam is by far the best laser in the game, with a 3000 meter range, 45 hull damage, and 45 shield damage. It doesn't really sound like a lot compared to the damage missiles and ballistics do, but that's because lasers aren't designed to do damage, they're designed more to disable, so you can board the enemy ship. And again, let's compare this Class C laser to a Class A laser in the Flare 15MW IR laser. This has a mere 1250 meter range and does only 4 hull damage and 14 shield damage. So that's around a third of the Class C equivalent. And generally what you'll find is Class C weapons have triple the performance of Class A weapons. Although for that performance increase, you're looking at way more than triple the price. Class A weapons sell for roughly 1500, while Class C weapons will cost you around 150,000. So basically, add an extra 0 onto the cost for any Class C weapon. Laser-wise, you want to pick up a ship called the Dullahan. This can be found on Hopetown on Polvo in the Valo system. It has an 83 particle damage rating, which is the highest rating for particle damage in the game, and that's because of its Disruptor 3340 Alpha Beam, which has a 3500 meter range and 41.79 hull damage. Again, this is a ship with the highest laser rating, but it doesn't actually have the highest rated laser cannon on it. But there's nothing stopping you from buying the ship and doing a little modification. What I like to do is copy the current weapons a ship has got and just paste them a few more times. And look at that rating now. So that's the Dullahan in Hopetown.
Teams that grab drive. Gonna end well for you. I really need to do things to discuss. Jumping out of here.
And the final weapon category is electromagnetic, or EM, and the best weapon in this category is the Fulminator 8000 Suppressor. Only 1 hull and 1 shield damage, but a huge 58 electromagnetic damage, which is what we want. And this will fry an enemy ship's systems so you can dock with it, and then either steal everything in the cargo hold, or just steal the ship completely. And what's weird with this electromagnetic category is I haven't seen a single Class C ship that has this weapon. I've been to every vendor in the game and not one of them sells a Class C ship that has this. So it's a great excuse to make one yourself. So get the Fulminator 8000 Suppressor, bolt it onto a ship of your choice and fly around turning everyone's ships off. Nothing better than being annoying. So those were the best Class C ship weapons in Starfield. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and for more Starfield guides, subscribe to the channel.